Hi guys, quick look at the Yupiteru MVT-9000, probably the best radio they ever made. Versus, a sort of versus little video here, the new to the market Uniden Bearcat. Uniden Bearcat SDS100E. The E, I believe, is for European version. And if you notice, the SDS100E hasn't got the Bearcat sort of logo on it, which is strange. I know it's one of their brands, one of their sub brands or sort of trademarks they put on their scanners. Okay, so we're on the 2 meter. I think it's one of the calling channels. I'm not sure. It's one of the talking channels or whatever, main channels. This is this is actually that's it. It's what's the word? It's one of the HubNet Echolink UK Echolink. That's it. So on the same frequency, 145.337.5 megahertz. You can see the Uniden here bringing up the. Let me see if I can remember what CTCSS stands for. Coded tone something subaudible squelch. I'm not sure what the other C stands for. Anyway, so this the tone squelch basically. There's the frequency. Look, it's 103.5 hertz. There's a subaudible tone there to open the gateway, so that's quite useful. The Yupiteru obviously hasn't got that. It's being an older radio. Let's just have a quick listen to the audio then. Oh, it's carried on scanning for some reason, so let's just get back to that frequency. Just a second. Right, got tuned it back in. Okay, so here's let's just separate them a little bit because they actually interfere with each other a little bit if they're next to each other. Okay, so here's the audio on the Uniden.
Put the cap on the lens and take about 25-50 images.
And here is the Yupiteru.
Long exposures. Basically, the slowest shutter speed, the fastest ISO, with the lens cap over the mount, the camera body itself, and take another 25 calibration.
Back to the Uniden.
You want to see the hot spots in the sensor.
I would say
Very good for the lack of hot spots. They only have them in the corners, where when you come to stack them, they're just dark, but you do get some light corners. So you can quite easily crop them out.
that's full volume.
Processing. But a lot of the other camera manufacturers, because they're not using a Sony sensor.
I know it's hard to hear the difference over a speaker on whatever you're watching it on and not being here in person, but it does sound.
You're quite right, Stuart. And
that's
I've got
full volume.
Photos from about 8 or 9 years ago.
Surprisingly, the Bearcat's actually got slightly more volume. Like I said, the Uniden Bearcat's it sounds a little bit narrower. To be honest, it sounds more of a narrow. Like it's got a narrow filter on, which it hasn't. It's on. I think it's just on actually on FM. It's not even on narrow FM. And the Yupiteru sounds a bit wider on the FM there. But and I'd say the Yupiteru's got nicer audio, and the Uniden's probably got a little bit harsher audio. But it does actually seem a bit clearer on the Uniden, like narrower and clearer. Slightly louder, surprisingly, on the Uniden. Although reports say that a lot of reviews say that this speaker's better, but this actually got more audio. It's got more actual volume from the Uniden. I don't know if they did a mod or an upgrade, because this is quite a recent radio. This is only about 6 months old, this one is. Probably not even that, to be honest. So it's fairly new. And of course the date today is the 1st of the 1st 2021. So I bought it about 6 months ago. It's the latest update version, so it seems to be good audio now, not bad at all. Some of the advantages and disadvantages between the two radios would be, obviously the Yupiteru's got sideband on it and goes down to 100 kilohertz. As I've done a previous video, it makes a really nice job of sideband and stuff like that. It's surprisingly good for a handheld on sideband, whereas the Uniden stops at 25 megahertz and has no sideband facility. The only thing it has got over the Yupiteru is it's obviously got about 6 digital modes, including DMR, which is the main one. In fact, let's have a listen to some DMR. I'll just turn the backlight off on this Yupiteru. Okay, so let's have a listen to some of the digital. If I scan, I've got a few frequencies programmed. I mean, it probably won't pick any up, to be honest, because there's not that many around here. Not too many. Traffic control. It's obviously an analog one. That's another analog one by the look of it. Okay, it doesn't seem like we're going to pick any up. I'll leave it on in the background. Okay, so obviously this has got about 6 different digital modes, which is useful, and a lot of places are on DMR radio in the UK, so that's pretty useful. The Yupiteru obviously doesn't do that sort of thing. Batteries, the Yupiteru takes 4 AA batteries, or LR6. Rechargeables or alkaline or whatever you want to put into it, and it's got a little battery meter here, the bar meter there, which is quite useful. Nice feature. Nice feature there. I'll see if we can get any digital. Oh, hospital there. So it's a nice feature, but this, obviously, the Yupiteru each batteries compared to the Uniden, where the Uniden's got a very modern lithium pack, 3.7 polymer lithium, I believe, which is also, it's got some very nice features, like I just temporarily avoided that channel. That'll avoid that channel until I switch this off then back on, without going too much into depth on the features, where this has got lockout. I think it's got lockout. I believe it's got lockout somewhere on there, which then you either have to go into lockout review or unlock it and go through it manually, which is annoying. So that temporary avoid's really nice on the Bearcat. As you can see, the screen's obviously a lot nicer on the Uniden, depending on whether you like dot matrix. They've got a little bit of a different take on a band scope, where that's the band scope there on the Yupiteru. It's actually quite a nice little band scope there. It refreshes every time you move it, and I believe it's got narrow and wide, which I can't remember how to put on. But that's quite a useful little feature. Most of those signals are spurious, birdies or stuff like that, though, unfortunately. And the Uniden has got another one, if I can remember how to do it, which is, just a second, I'll pick this up. There, so that's the Uniden's take on a band scope there, which obviously isn't as comprehensive as the Yupiteru's, but the Yupiteru's is mostly for show, if I'm honest. But I have had it working quite well, where a lot of these signals are actually real signals, which is quite nice. Let's just see if we can tune any of them in. Yeah. Okay. So they're actually, they're actually quite good signals there. They are actually signals. Some of them, some are spurious though, or digital modes and stuff like that. So yeah, it's quite a useful little scope on the Yupiteru, if not a little bit for show, but it is useful. Can be useful, especially with the big antenna in it. The Unidens, if you go to close call and close call only, it brings you up a little graph. You can see that number 1 there is blanked out, because that is the UKCB, I think, and that sort of thing. It just keeps picking everything up from around the area when it's busy. And then these are the different bands. It would have been nice to have the frequencies there underneath the bands instead of just 0 to 6. But that's sort of a chart, and it's not quite, you can't move it around with a VFO or anything like that. So that's not so good. And just scan again, back to scanning. This is quicker. Software defined system, as I said before, very nice, modern and all that. Big 3.7 volt lithium polymer battery, which is rechargeable through a USB, I think it is, in the side. Is it a USB? I think it is, yes. That one there, it says charge, and then the other one above it's for programming, I think. All very modern. It's got a couple of little LEDs I don't use, but you can if you want to program them to do what you want. I've got the screen on screensaver mode at the moment, so it keeps going out. And it is IP67, I think, or something like that. It's quite a high IP rating, which means basically it's water and dust proof. And it shows, one of the things is you can't actually screw these antennas in, unless it's one that fits right down into this little bezel here, because there's some seals about there on the original antenna. I'm using the Nagoya antenna at the moment, which is the NA-711 on both of them. One's BNC and the other one is SMA male, I think, which is the Uniden, and the BNC for the Yupiteru standard. I actually prefer BNCs, but everything's going to these nowadays. Most things are. Okay, what else have we got to say? So this is the updated version. If we look on the side, you've got that big, as the American would say, big booty on the back there, which is just basically the case, which is bigger to incorporate the lithium battery, which is bigger. I'll just check the AH on that actually. Okay, so it's 5,400 milliamp hour, the battery in that, which is why the back sticks out, because the original one wasn't that big and it got some poor battery life. This one is actually really good battery life on it, yeah. So it's not picking anything up. For sensitivity, to be honest, they're actually quite sensitive. Yeah, for sensitivity, they are actually quite sensitive, these are, but they're a little bit prone to interference, unfortunately. That's it then. So I can't really say much else about these. I've temporarily avoided that. As I say, when you unclip the battery at the back, it actually falls away from the terminations, which is slightly annoying. That's it. What I will say as well about the design is that the Yupiteru is quite nice in the hand, not too bad in the hand, not too heavy or anything like that. The Uniden's really, really good in the hand, because if you look, your hand actually fits around the back there and up into where it's got the little belt clip there, the belt clip attachment there, and your hand fits around that really, really nice and just balances on that belt clip. It's very nice, and it sits so nice, really, really stable. You don't need any stand or anything with it. You can knock it around, you can do that with it, you know, wobble it around, all sorts. Whereas the Yupiteru, unfortunately, obviously it's a very old radio now, but let's just turn it off now. But I'll show you the Yupiteru's stability. You know, it really is unstable, and it's really odd. It's really odd because most of the weight sits in the bottom where the batteries are, but it's so unstable. You know, it's obviously meant to be clipped on your belt or held in the hand. It's got the 4 batteries in the bottom there, so it's got a lot of weight in the bottom, but it's just a bit too tall and skinny, I think. That fits in the hand quite nicely though. Right, okay, that's it guys. You can see the Yupiteru wobbling around still, and this is absolutely rock solid. That's it. Let's just have a little another little audio comparison again. On these two, see if I can find a channel that's got some audio on it for us. No, there's not going to be anything on that one. What are we on there? You can hear the echo there. You can hear the echo there because obviously the digital one's slightly behind the analog one, because obviously it has to go through its processors and whatnot, and the analog one just picks it straight up from the air. Okay guys, that's it. A quick look at the two radios. There wasn't really much audio comparison there, and it's a bit hard to do, and it's a bit hard to hear the audio comparison through what you're really listening to. But I would describe the Uniden's audio as thinner, slightly clearer and narrower, and the Yupiteru slightly warmer audio there, but a bit more interference maybe, and not quite as loud as you can go with the Uniden. Nice radios. So sensitivity wise, there's no real weak signals to compare. I mean, there might be something on the 2.5, might be something on there. No, there's nothing on that channel. That's the channel that sometimes the Uniden struggles with and the older radios seem to receive. That's about it really. Otherwise the sensitivity's not far off. I wouldn't say it's as sensitive as the Yupiteru, but they're renowned to be very sensitive, but it's sensitive enough, and certainly for digital. Unfortunately we couldn't pick any digital modes up. I might hang around for a couple of minutes and pause the video until we get something. One thing I did forget to mention here, as it's reminding me, that these radios come with all the I think I don't know if they come as standard, but they do. They are easy to program all the UK frequencies, such as all the shop watches and things like that, in. Really easy. These are actually all programmed in. 6 is my own personal bank, and then 5 and all the rest of those banks there are pre-programmed. I didn't have to do anything. You just get home and press scan, basically. That's really good. Let's get the volume up again. I've got something going on there. Same channel. There's a couple of repeated channels, as you can imagine, because they're actually regional channels, obviously. Can't quite decode that one. Oh, it's trying. If it's a bit weak, it won't decode it, you find. Just trying to get a digital channel so you can have a listen to the digital audio. Obviously there's absolutely nothing on as soon as I switch on. There we go. Let's have this one.
Romeo 301.
It's a digital DMR signal.
Right. Yeah, Sierra 3 is just left side with one of the radios in that white 40 Fiesta that I was just talking to you about.
There we go. Okay, so that's a shop watch there. I don't want to play too much of that because obviously it could be sensitive information there. So I'll just keep that down. But that's the audio.
Sierra 3 has just left side with that radio, with her radio in that white 40 Fiesta that I was just talking to you about.
Nice audio on the digital modes. Very nice audio. And there is a few places. This says shop watch Kent, but it's unlikely to be Kent. It's probably just another frequency from around here. Another hospital or something, another security team. Tend to use unencrypted DMR. Yep. So that's a quick look at the audio. I can't really play too much of that, but it's actually gone now anyway. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll try to make a video a bit more if I can get some good hits on the digital side of things when there's a bit more going on for the digital audio. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Just a quick review of these two radios. Quick look at each next to each other. A bit of an old radio and a new radio. Thanks for watching.